Okay, so today, the 14th of Iyar, what does the Frierdiker Rebbe have to tell us today on Pesach Sheni? Oh, the theme of Pesach Sheni is that it is never too late. It's always possible to put things right. Even if one was home, ritually impure, or one was far away, think of these things metaphorically also, far away, in distance, in consciousness, in awareness, etc. And even in a case of lachem, when the impurity was deliberate, nevertheless, one can correct it. This is Pesach Sheni, which follows quite nicely to our subject matter of the last few days, particularly yesterday. And we'll begin in Lessons in Tanya, a new parak 48 on page 708. And in Likutei Amorim here on page Samech Zion. When I say that it continues the topic, remember yesterday we were speaking about the capability that everybody has to feel the presence of Hashem. Das, remember das, hiskashrus, to be tied with Hashem in a manner that there's a hergish, that there's a feeling, and there's even a spiritual visuality, seeing. And he says that this is called Yetzias Mitzrayim, getting to a stage, being in a state where one has a tangible awareness of the presence of Hashem, which is always everywhere, but often hidden, is within the capability of everybody. And this is the reason why Chayev Odom, a person is obligated, lirais atzmai, to see himself, ki'ilu yotzem Mitzrayim, as if he's going out of Mitzrayim, which means constraints and limitations, every day. So, Perek Memches. When a person will contemplate, use his faculty of bina, understand something of the greatness of the infinite one, blessed be he, kikashmai kainhu, that as his name is Ein Sof, infinite, so he is. Ein Sof, he has no limit, no ends. The Ein Kates, no boundaries, the Tachlis, and there's no finitude, there's no marking the endpoint of Hashem at all, klal. There's no end to the Or and the Chayas, Hamispashet Mimenu Yisborach. There's no end to him, but also there's no end to the light and the vitality which flows from him. May he be blessed. B'Ratzonei HaPashet, that light which originates in his, the manifestation of which originates in his will, his simple will. Hamiyuchad b'mahuse, and that simple will is united with his essence, the atzmusi, and his very self. May he be blessed. The tachlis hayichad, with a complete unity. So Hashem is Ein Sof. He is without end. Now, if the worlds were to be created in that manner, in the manner of God himself, which is without limit, if the worlds were that created directly from that, and if the worlds were created in a manner without any diminution, without any contraction, without any condensation, and they were created if they weren't created in an orderly way, one step after another, this world, and really all worlds, would not be as they are now, in a manner of boundedness and definition, conscription, bounded. They have particularity. They're not flowing endlessly, and everything mixing with each other. So on the one hand, we have the Ein Sof himself, Ein Sof, no boundaries, no limitations, no metzorim, no limits at all. And yet worlds can't exist like that because worlds are by definition bounded. If you look in the sky and take a view from our planet Earth downward, you see it's a round globe, and everything is a round globe. It's circumscribed. It's limited. So this introduces the idea that we have to come to terms with, which is that, as the Kabbalists tell us, one of the definitions of Hashem is that he's noisei hafachim. He handles or carries opposites. He carries limitlessness and limitedness. And this is famously summarized in an expression that we'll see fairly often in different places in Hasidus, that if Hashem were only limitless, he would then be limited. What do we mean? That if he were only limitless, that means he can't be limited. And there's nothing you can say about Hashem that can't be, because he's beyond can't be. So he can hold two opposites. He can hold particle and wave. He can hold limitlessness and limitedness at the same time. And if he were to just express the limitlessness, then, as we're saying now, we would not have worlds the way worlds are currently created, with boundedness and definition. As we say now, a couple of examples brought from the Gemara of the boundedness of the worlds. As in the Gemara in Chagiga says, from the earth to the first layer of what's called the Rakia, the heaven, is a journey of 500 years. Whether that's what definition we're looking here in terms of years is not so clear. I've never really seen anything particular about that, but it gets an idea on the table. There is a particular measure of space, of time, or space, but he expresses it in time. It takes 500 years to get from one level of the heaven to another level of heaven, from the earth to the heaven, 500 years. So those are finite, discrete measures of distance and time. And similarly, from one firmament to another firmament, there is time and there is distance. And also each rakia, each thickness, each firmament, right? There are 7 heavens. Each one of them, these are layers and layers of God space, the lowest of which, of course, transforms into physical space. But these are layers and layers, each one with a defined distance between them and a defined thickness to each of them. Even the future world, the world to come, is, after all, it's an olam. And an olam is, by definition, something discrete and bounded. It's this world, or in this case, it's that world, and not this world. In Gan Eden Ha'elyon, we have Olam Haba, and we have Gan Eden Ha'tachton, Gan Eden Ha'elyon, layers upon layers upon layers. So how do you get layers upon layers, and measure upon measure, and distance upon distance, and definition upon definition, from something which is, by definition, Ein Sof, no end, can't be bounded, has no tachlis, has no finitude? How do you get finitude from infinity? He goes on, there are certain dwelling places of the souls of tzaddikim and the great chachamim, and even their souls. We have discrete souls, right? There are a root soul from all of us, and then there are 600,000 discrete souls, and they have their own evolution or definition, and each one of them gives rise to 600,000 times 600,000 until you get a myriad, which is a big number, but of discrete entities. Of course, you have malachim. You have this Gavriel, Raphael, manifestations of spiritual energy in what we call bodies and shapes, and give names to it, and they're discrete qualities. Gavriel is Gavura, Michael is kindness. The midos themselves are discrete. All of this is in a manner of boundedness and finitude and conscription, definition. Because Yesh Gavula Hasagat Son, each of the angels have a discrete realm of understanding in the Or Ein Sof, in the infinite light, Baruch Hu, may he be blessed. Hamer Alehem, which shines to them, these are to the angels, Bislapshus, in clothing of Chabad, Chokhmah, Bina, and Das. That's the spheros themselves, right? Chokhmah, Bina, Das, Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, all the ones we're counting. When you count, you're counting discrete entities. V'lochein, you have to say that there's Yesh Gevula Hanoson. So if there are discrete bodies, discrete souls, discrete realms of mind and feeling, so there are also discrete levels and boundedness of pleasure, the level of pleasure, the level of joy, the level of simcha, shenenim ziv ha-shechina, which all of the creation has from the ray of the Shekhinah. Even calling Hashem is manifestation of Shekhinah. Shekhinah is something that dwells. And if it dwells, it's dwelling here and it's not dwelling there. Or it may be dwelling in multiple levels, but of different quality. So all of this is posing a question, which we will begin to answer in this chapter. But at the moment, everything has a certain boundedness in terms of it's a pleasure, and the amount of delight that it has in the Or of Hashem. So because the level of pleasure and delight and experience that each one of us have, and each of the angels have, and each of the worlds have, is discrete and different from another. It's not in a manner of Ein Sof Mamish, because if it were in a manner of Ein Sof Mamish, right, if our experience was of boundlessness, so Shelo Yizbatlu B'Tziyusin, we would then return to an amorphous, boundedlessness state, amorphous, without any end, without any beginning. And that's clearly not the case. So, Shelo Yizbatlu B'Tziyusin, so for the purpose of there being worlds and there being discrete entities and discrete souls and entities which have a bounded quality to them, he has created what we're going to discuss tomorrow, the world of Tzimtzum. The Tzimtzum, the Hispashtus. There is a Tzimtzum, a contraction, and there is a life flow. And both of them are part of God's Ein Sof. In other words, his ability to limit himself as well as his ability to be unlimited. And this is just the beginning of this topic. Questions, comments? So, this is Yetzias Mitzrayim, right? The day of going out of limitations. This is the day, Pesach Rishon, of course, and Pesach Sheni, when whatever boundedness we feel, and we will feel because we're walking, each one of us in our own way, in our own day, we can have the experience of the unboundedness at the same time. That's Yetzias Mitzrayim. To be in a body and to be doing the bodily things that we've been commanded, and to feel the presence of the outer body or the infinite within the finite. If no comments or questions, then to be continued. Okay? Have a good day.
Thank you.